Are you ready?
Agility from the champion.
Oh, deep
six! That could be it. Delivered this deep six.
This is episode 158. It is Sunday night, just after 10 o'clock here on the East Coast in New York. Speaking of which, big sports weekend that we just had in New York. We had the World Cup start. We had a great wrestling weekend. And last night culminates with the finish of the NBA Finals of the Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs. And let me tell you, we had a very, very good NBA Finals. This series could have gone either way. Let's dive into it a little bit. We're going to be talking about this, I'm sure, on Tuesday when Brandon, aka Bash, comes on Tuesday night when we discuss Monday Night Raw. But we had a really good series. And this was the small window that the New York Knicks ever had to win an NBA Finals. Why do I say that? Well, the Knicks are already a good team, but there wasn't as clear as a path any other year as they had this year, with injuries due to Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtics star player, and they had a really pretty good run without him getting into the semifinals. And then Indiana Pacers this year lost their star player, Tyler Halliburton, in which that knocked down the Indiana Pacers quite basically out of the running for the playoffs this year, because they were one of the worst teams in basketball without him. Two very good teams that couldn't go far without their star player this year, and those are the two teams that the Knicks have had challenges beating in the not so distant past. So this year the Knicks had a very much more of a clearer path to get to the NBA Finals. There were some good teams in there. 76ers wasn't that great. Cleveland had a better season than the Knicks, but they failed to show up against the Knicks. Knicks had a great run. They were absolutely on fire. They got hot at the right time. This is the hottest point, the hottest that the Knicks have been at any point of the year was during the playoffs. And we should give that credit to Danhausen. Danhausen uncursed the Knicks during the first round after the Knicks were down 2-1 against the Atlanta Hawks. And the Knicks just won 13 straight. And they lost one in game 3 against the Spurs. And then they win the next two to become your 2026 NBA Finals. This NBA Finals was basically decided by one possession from games 2 to game 5. By one possession. Spurs, they had a very good chance to win this NBA Finals, but the reason why the Knicks get by the Spurs this year is because of their veteranship and the Spurs' lack of ability to close out the finals games within the last couple moments, making mental errors, being tired, and with the Knicks' depth and their experience, they were able to overcome each game barely, but they did, and they were NBA champions of 2026. As a Brooklyn Nets fan, this kind of pains me a little bit, because who's going to want to go to Brooklyn? Now the Knicks have won a championship and they're a good team. Players are going to be more prone to want to go to the Knicks over the Nets. That's if they even want to come to the New York area. So it doesn't help the Nets cause. Nets got to get better. with choosing their team. Maybe they could take tips from the New York Knicks. That being said, let's jump in. We're not going to be long on this show tonight. We have a couple topics that we want to cover really quick. But here we go. Talking the King of the Ring. We're also going to be talking Queen of the Ring as well. So I'm going to get you guys updated there. Okay, here we go. So we had the semifinals. Basically, the last spot of the semifinals filled. The last fatal four-way match for the men's in the King of the Ring tournament here. I actually just finished this a few minutes ago, and I felt the need just to kind of hop on and cover some stuff that happened on SmackDown really quick. But here we go. We have our semifinals set in both brackets. Notice that every person that advanced in the tournament was for the men's side was a Raw superstar. So on the one side, we have Obafemi versus Rey Mysterio. On the opposite side, we have Javon Evans versus Jay Uso. So that's happening. Okay. So tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, we have Obafemi versus Dominic Mysterio, and we have Javon Evans against Jay Uso. Jay Uso's been on TV for a number of weeks, and the whole Bloodline storyline, and Roman Reigns telling Jay Uso a couple weeks ago to go get your WWE title, challenge Cody Rhodes. And Jay Uso's been all about it. And right now, I mean, that side of the bracket is looking pretty clear that Jay Uso is more than likely going to advance on that side of the bracket to the finals. Again, they've been hinting at the possibility of Jay Uso versus Cody Rhodes. Now, on the left side of the bracket, as you can see here, we have Obafemi against Dominic Mysterio, which is going to happen tomorrow night on Raw. I can see Evans and Uso more than likely happening on SmackDown next week, or Raw the following week. But we have a little time to get to it. But we have Obafemi versus Dominic Mysterio, and I think Obafemi advances to the finals here. Mysterio is going to have Judgment Day absolutely interfere and try to help Dominic Mysterio win. But to no avail, I think we're going to get Obafemi winning this match to go to the finals. I have Jay Uso advancing against Javon Evans. So it's looking like, to me, we're more than likely to get Obafemi versus Jay Uso in the finals. And that will happen at Night of Champions. So, with that being said, I see the potential of what could happen here with the Bloodline involvement. I believe we will probably have a couple things could happen. I think we might very well have Brock Lesnar interfere and cost Obafemi his match against Jey Uso, and Jey Uso be the King of the Ring winner this year to go on against Cody Rhodes. That's scenario one. Okay. And honestly, that's my backup scenario. I don't want that to happen, but that very well could happen. Just the way they're planting the seeds for it, with Jey Uso possibly becoming King of the Ring. But if they don't plan on doing Lesnar and Obafemi prior to SummerSlam, Obafemi could very well win this tournament, as we predicted all the way back at WrestleMania, way before they even announced King of the Ring tournament. is that I believe Obafemi gets in the tournament, continues to steamroll past Dom and Jay, and then win the tournament. King of the Ring. You got to strike while he's hot, and then have Obafemi choose one of the world champions and become champion by SummerSlam, and then after that, set something up for a third match for Brock Lesnar versus Oba. Maybe do a stipulation of career versus title. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about what could happen here in the men's King of the Ring tournament. It's gonna go one of two ways, 100%. So, but with that being said, let's take a peek at what the women's tournament looks like. Also, before we do that, we have to make mention that there are a couple things going on with the storylines here with LA Knight. Solo costed LA Knight the loss when Jey Uso advanced, but that was intended to help out Royce Keys, in which Solo messed up. Jay got the win, so expect on SmackDown next week more of a fallout between Solo and LA Knight and Royce Keys for sure. That's absolutely going to be happening. Okay, so let's check in with the women now. Let me pull that up here. But for those of you guys that are watching, feel free to please hit that subscribe button, as that will help us out. Share this with your friends, and let us know what you guys think of who will be the winner of this year's King of the Ring. Now, we got the Queen of the Ring. The last semifinal also took place on SmackDown this past Friday. Like I said, I just got done finishing the event not even a half hour ago, and decided that we should talk and update this so that we're not completely lost when we do our review show after Raw this Tuesday. And I gave the wrong let me see here. All right, I have the wrong photo, but Charlotte advanced for this Friday night. Charlotte advanced, and funny thing happened. She Jade basically lost her wig and was holding her head for the last 2 minutes of the match. Kind of felt bad for her in a way. Kind of funny, but yeah, that happened on SmackDown during the 4-way match. But Charlotte gets the win. So Charlotte is going to be facing Liv Morgan next Friday night, while this Monday we are going to have Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. This is a little bit of a tough one to call. I'm not really too sure where they want to go yet. Liv Morgan has not had any contenders for her title belt. That's kind of a little bit of a disaster there. You got Rhea. Supposedly she's injured. Rhea's a WWE champion. So the question is the winner going to challenge Liv Morgan at some point, or Rhea Ripley? We got to figure that out. Liv Morgan had not won the world title defense since WrestleMania. And Rhea Ripley is supposedly injured right now. Rumor has it. Hasn't been confirmed by a reliable source, but that's the scuttlebutt. Don't know how severe that is, but anyhow, I could not even tell you where they're going to go with this King of the Ring, but where they very well could go is Liv Morgan versus, let's see here. They probably could do a Judgment Day feud here and plant that seed, Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez. That would be very interesting to have two Judgment Day members in the finals. So we will have to see what happens there. I really don't know the exact direction they're going to go with in the women's here. Liv Morgan's reason for being in the King of the Ring tournament is she says that she wants it all. about a month ago. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, it was the night after Mania, I believe, uh, confronted each other face to face just a day after Liv Morgan had won her belt. But they planted seeds there. I don't know if that was just a teaser or, seed planting for things to come in the future. But with that being said, we'll have Raquel versus Io Sky this Monday and Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair next Friday. Next Friday is going to be an amazing SmackDown ahead of us. We have tag titles on the line. We have a semifinal match for the Queen of the Ring. More than likely a semifinal match for the men's. And then we are going to have the World Heavyweight title being defended. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. And the reason for this is because basically a clash in Italy, Cody Rhodes got the 1-2-3 on Gunther, but the referee failed to notice that Gunther had the foot under the rope. And now, as a result, Gunther was pissed and demanded that he get his rematch, and rightfully so. I mean, the referee failed to stop counting the 3 count and failed to even notice that Gunther had the foot there under the rope. So that's why we are here. Even talking about another match, which is going to take place this Friday night on SmackDown. Do you guys remember what happened last Friday? The last time we had a WWE title match on SmackDown, Cody lost to Drew McIntyre before the new year. And this match will be their second title match in as many months. Cody Rhodes defended against Gunther, but the stipulation here, Gunther finally announced it to Nick Aldis tonight that he wants to choose his referee. And towards the end of the show, around the second to last segment of the night, Gunther reveals to Nick Aldis that he wants Sami Zayn to be the referee. Now, there has been some little dissension here between Sami Zayn and Gunther, but a lot of dissension between Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. So, with that being said, Sami Zayn is going to be the special guest referee, which spells trouble. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans in this match. And also, there is the possibility that Sami Zayn could try to screw Cody Rhodes. But I want to hear your predictions here because for some reason I think I have Sami Zayn getting knocked out and another referee coming in to count the 3 count. And then Cody Rhodes wins, but then Gunther's mad because the second referee that will come in is not the official referee. Sammy was. And that Sammy's supposed to count the 3. So I have a feeling that's the storyline they are going to tell this Friday. And then we quite possibly get a third match with Cody and Gunther. Maybe SummerSlam. Maybe Night of Champions. But at some point very soon, maybe Saturday night's main event. And we very well could get possibly a title change here. But I have a feeling Cody will retain this Friday. And then it just depends on where they want to go. I'm fully expecting a third match. And if that happens, I do believe Cody will lose the title. It just really all depends on when they want to do that match. If the Cody versus Gunther is going to be at SummerSlam, or if they want to do it by Night of Champions. I really don't know exactly where they're going to go officially, but it looks like Gunther falls just short of winning on Friday. And then we have a continuation of the feud somehow. But then you got the men's King of the Ring. Who's the winner going to choose? I mean, we know Jey Uso is going to choose Cody. But if it's Obafemi, does he choose Roman Reigns? or does he choose Cody Rhodes? So I do like the unpredictable options here leading into SummerSlam. But they kind of have us guessing, and that's what I like about this booking right now. So I'd like to know where you think we're gonna go, what you guys think we're gonna go, where we're headed to for Night of Champions and SummerSlam. We've definitely mentioned one of the options of the possibility of what we're gonna get. I just couldn't not even tell you officially which one it's gonna be though. But should it be Oba Femi versus a champion of his choice? Absolutely. 100%. Put the belt on him, give him the rocket ship, and let's make a new star already. We need not to revisit the experiment of Jey Uso going into SummerSlam season. Don't want to see it. But to those of you guys that are watching, that's all we got for tonight. We covered Gunther versus Cody. A little bit earlier, we covered the King of the Ring update and the Queen of the Ring update. We even talked about the New York Knicks at the beginning of the show. So be sure to check that out. We will be back here with episode 159 on Tuesday. Quite possibly this week we will be back here on Wednesday for talking AEW. And then we will definitely be back here Friday night after SmackDown, talking what we just saw there, because it's going to be a big show. So it's going to be a big week for the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. Stand by and be sure to check in every day for the shorts that we have and the upcoming shows that we have this week. And for those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much. And make sure you guys like, comment, share with your friends, and hit that subscribe button, as that will help us out. And you guys have an awesome week. Catch you guys later.
Agility from the champion. Uh-oh!